If he's there, he'll tell me if we sound good, but everything looks fine. So we're just gonna wing it. While I wait for him, I'll just give a brief talk about my history with Ace Attorney. I've played all of them that I can. There's few that were Japanese exclusive, which I believe was Investigations 2, which I watched someone play through anyway. Yeah, no, we're not breaking the law. We're catching the lawbreakers, Luke. How's like BGM and stuff? Does that everything sound fine? Yeah, I've not played Investigations 2. I started... What was it called? I think it was Spirits of Justice, which was the last one on the 3DS. And then I didn't finish that, so I watched someone play through that. And then there were these games which were Japan exclusive till now, so let's fucking go and do some lore, shall we? My mouse is not on screen. Oh, no, it is, and it's massive for some reason. That's because I'm playing windowed mode as opposed to full screen. Because playing this in full screen fucks with my display settings for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. From where I'm looking, like, it fits the screen perfectly if I put it in. Let me go to options and show you. So if I stream this in 16:9 windowed mode, it fits fine on the desktop and in the display. If I stream it in anything other than, if I stream it in anything other than windowed 16:9, I have black bars on the side and I can't get rid of them. Also, you can tell I've not done this in a while. The voice cracks are already starting. It's fine, I have tea. Hopefully it'll last. Mouse, you get out of here. Anyway, I keep trying to use arrow keys, and that's not how that works. It's WASD. Oh yeah, so this is Ace Attorney Adventures, and we got the second one, which, you know, we're just starting with good old first one. Yeah.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
It's very British. And then there was murder, because, you know. Oh, well, this don't look good.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary
I don't know
story.
why the text is having a fit. I'd just like to point that out. Also, yeah, that don't look good. There's a dead man and you're holding a gun. The adventure of the great departure, as I readjust myself in my chair. There's going to be a lot of that. It's a good stream already. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of You'll soon learn, if you're new here, that I can't read. The Supreme Court of Judicature... Is that pronounced Judicature? I'm gonna presume it is. Defendant's Antechamber, 5. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. Can't believe I shot that guy. I'm assuming that was me. How can it be that just beyond the doors of this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Oh, yep, I shot a guy. This isn't good. What? I'm sorry, bailiff. Please don't hurt me. Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. I'm telling you, somehow this wasn't me. Despite the fact I'm holding the gun that probably shot him. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. They really are on the fucking point with these names, aren't they? My surname literally means I understand. So I just need to keep looking over here just to make sure the stream is running fine. We're all appeared to be good, and there are no dropped frames. And again, if I'm dropping frames playing a visual novel, I'm gonna be concerned. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yumei University. 3 days ago, I'd somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. Now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! Says the stream broke, but I don't know whether that's for you or because I don't have any issues on my end, so... Okay, well, everything seems to be fine there. Where am I? He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. Oh wait, I'm not the lawyer? Oh shit, okay. I've been bamboozled for once in my life. I'm not the one doing the defending. Anyway, yes, I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue or I will goddamn cut it out of your head. Why am I allowed this sword? And everyone got hissy with Blackwell just because he could, like, throw finger blades. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. Yet I still seem to know better than you. Hold on, let me just read that again. Yet I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. Can I just, real quick? Nope. Oh, it's G. Hold on. I'm always skeptical faffing with these options because I never know if they work or not. We shall soon find out, though, won't we? Yeah, things look a little smoother. Now it's just, you know, whether it breaks something else in the meantime. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. But I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. No! Good. Yumei University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Yeah, that'd sell. That'd sell like gangbusters. Sorry, I just need to... making sure this works. Yeah, I've got it on the phone. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. And there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up and hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Ah! Yes, man, he's like my best friend, and I really hope that he didn't kill him. They wouldn't pull that twice, would they? Would they? Kazuma Sogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yumei University. Actually, I believe it's pronounced Yumei, but who gives a shit? But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago? Yes. That's when all of this started. The murder. Congratulations, Kazuma. Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. Get out of Japan while you can. I know. It's been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. How have you been succeeding in court if we've only been doing this for a few years? They really don't give a shit, do they? So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. Oh, don't tell me the British are running it. It's the one thing I can't stand in this universe. Okay, yeah, still making sure it's just working for some reason. You never know with these things. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. Oh, good. We are still peddling opium to the Chinese. That's a bad joke. I'm leaving it in though, because you know, it's all I've got are bad jokes. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. It's not that great, I'll be real honest. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Man, I really hope we stay friends. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi, may I have a word? Who are you two? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. Never mind that now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel like I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yeah. Thanks, Kazuma. So who are you? Why are you allowed in my side of the courtroom? Well, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Oh, everything sounds good, and everything's working now that you're not checking on your phone. Nice. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotaba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumai University. Ah, Professor Mikotaba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma to study abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. I knew Japan was strict, but I didn't know they were this strict. What? It's a good thing I didn't do it then, isn't it? Ah, as I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has chosen from a large number of applicants for overseas studies. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Ah, the violins! I approve of the violins. They're great. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. Well, this is problematic. But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest you do anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I'm a lie my way into defending myself, aren't I? I do? Am I getting married? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone not advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance for proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. I'm already out of tea. This is going to be a good stream. 22nd of November, 9 AM. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. Look at his face! Look at his fuck... This is sometimes how I feel. Just in general when I'm out in public. I look like this. So, this is a courtroom. I don't like this. I feel like I'm on the wrong fucking side of the desk. This feels like I'm on the prosecutor's side from every other Phoenix Wright game I've played. Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I like that they've gone, like, better with the cinematography and everything as well, because, like, the old... Well, I say the old ones. A lot of the ones I remember, which is, like, in fairness, like the first 3 and Apollo Justice. Since they were designed for the Game Boy, well, the first 3 were for Game Boy Advance, and Apollo Justice was designed for DS. Like, they had limited camera angles, so I like all, like, the fancy camera stuff that they're going. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. Yeah, this feels wrong. I feel like I'm on the wrong side of the fucking courtroom because I'm used to staring at Maya the other way. Or Trucy. Or literally anyone else for that matter. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Damn, this judge fucking fancy! The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. His name is fucking Ouchie. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So, ever since the first Phoenix Wright back in the day, your tutorial prosecutor was always called, or his surname was always Payne, spelled P-A-Y-N-E. Now, obviously, they can't do that because it's like Western Japanese hybrid in the real Phoenix Wright current times. So, I guess this works for an ye old Japanese name that sounds like Payne. Prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. This is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As I need to hiccup. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Oh, wrong button. I have to WASD it. I mean, I have to at least once. Kazuma's the lawyer here. I can't defend myself. If I say I do, it would be tantamount to lying. I love the slightly higher pitched bling noises as well. And I've been accused of murder, for goodness sake. This is no time for lies. Try to stop fidgeting, Ryunosuke. It's distracting. But if I don't say I'll defend myself now, things could end very badly for my friend. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, yes! I hope it's... I yesed. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikataba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think that I won't be able to get you off. Phrasing! No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikataba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. So one dramatic gavel slamming camera angle they got, I'll give it that. Very well. court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Re-announcing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
It happened! Get used to that noise, and probably the yes soundbite, because I feel like I'm going to be hearing both a lot. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Huh? Oh, yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking! I'm not confident at all! They got the same face! They got the same face! I mean, it makes sense considering this is technically like Phoenix Wright's old-ass, like, relative, well, I'll say. Like one of his, I forgot the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Luke? Bail me out. It's not like a relative, I forget what the, ancestor! That's the word I'm looking for. I didn't get it from chat, but that's the word I'm looking for. It's one of his ancestors. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated the most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency! It's therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you've undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. That's easy enough. I've heard his name before more times than I can care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. Oh, you know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. Access the court record with the press of the E key. I beg to differ! Oh, you know what? If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all there. Yeah, still not working. If I just have to press the E key for the court record? Alright, then there's no time to lose. Okay, I've got my university collar pin. Good. I'll be showing that to everyone I can. Here's a list of all the evidence I've collected. Now try switching to people instead with E. Okay, there's me. Lovely. Find the details about the victim here. When you're done, press Z to go back. Okay, so as I say, there's me. There's the teacher who talked to me beforehand. There's ye old man. Oh no, wait, that's not me. That's my friend. Why am I not in my own list? And then there's John H. Wilson. The victim of this case, he was professor of medicine at Yumei University from the British Empire. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press R to present. Yeah, you. Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England. Even. Invited to Yamea University 3 years ago. Indeed. Which is the reason why this case has much profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you are aware, we just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. AJTFN? Or whatever. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yamea University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Ugh. But I didn't do it. I just have a look at my... Like, what else have I got in here? Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Do we have anything else? Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Okay, well, you never know when this shit's helpful, do you? Can I look at my... Yeah, I'ma show this off to all the bitches. The case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. Hey, look, I don't know what current year it is, but, like, assuming it's not Renaissance time, like 1800s, I can understand why. We kind of go downhill a bit after that, but I can understand why you'd be terrified. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Definitely gonna slip up and pronounce that as Dr. Watson at least once. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. I love terrified Ryunosuke. It's great. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think... Wait. Wait, why am I holding a gun? I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. And then he was shot, I assume. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously that was... Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. Yeah, I know. I got this. This is what I need. Gunshot wound. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select to present. Do it now. Yeah, okay, this one. It's definitely my badge.
Yes!
Well... I love that. I love the, which piece of paper is it written on? I just like to think one of them's just a picture of a gun that just says shot. According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. He bled to death, Urinosuke. Let to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes. That's right, the post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. Here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Wow, that sounds shady as fuck. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. Write that down! Write that down! This is just what the police think happened. This so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the gunpowder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Consul. The Court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Got a photograph! So that's a photographic print. Oh, that's something I've never seen before. Clearly superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. What the hell was that? Did he briefly T-pose for dominance? Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Mikotoba even? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah! Of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Damn, look at this classy-ass English gentleman. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I feel like I'm not gonna get many of the joke names that we did back in the previous games because of, you know, it's hard to make Japanese names puns unless I'm just missing the point. I'm the head waiter at a Western style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh shit, he's got COVID! Or lung cancer, one of the two. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Oh shit, that's blood. That's a not good. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. I feel like it should. Yeah, well, it really, really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. Occidental? What the hell is Occidental? I've never heard I've heard accidental, but not Occidental. An Occidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over. There were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. Could you not cough blood up all over the witness stand? It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Yes! What? Don't yes that! You shouldn't say yes! I was holding the gun the whole time! Hold on, let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him! Objection! Objection! Oh, it's been so long. I've missed this series so much. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. You know, I feel like if my voice actually broke more while doing his voice, it would be more appropriate. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur! But... The next time you interrupt in an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today, yes? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing by the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Inosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? You know what? Since I've been warned, let's not. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never gotten into Umeå University otherwise. You can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget this piece of advice in a hurry. There is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it. Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the table. Objection! Dear me. What are we going to do with you? Your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Onosaga-san, is there any chance that you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Despite the fact that you keep bleeding from the mouth, go to a doctor! The court will take the plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? You didn't complete the card and collect it until just now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Please stop coughing in my ear. This is concerning. These are trying times we live in. Stop T-posing! So, the court has now heard a precise... That's not precise. What the hell is that word? I'm gonna have to... Google! I need you to answer my questions, Google. Hold on. Précis? I'd never heard of that one. I've now heard of Précis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. Can I, like... Oh, like a magnifying glass. Huh. Okay. Like, I don't... So this is the kitchen, and this is the entrance. I mean, she could have, like, left. Just, like, walked by, left, you know? Just saying. If he comes, like, out up here, and she's, like, down here, he wouldn't have seen her. It's just weird that he said he came in alone, like, completely. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. We're seeing we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Give me my cross-examinations, bitch! I need these. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Dude, I don't know what they're like in feudal Japan, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna off you. Especially for murdering what I feel like is a diplomat. Everyone keeps telling me this trial is unusual. About these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikutaba said it. So is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Why does this dude give me, like, legit samurai vibes? What the hell is this? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Yes! The desk slamming begins! Hold on. There we go. The desk slam begins! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Now we're finger pointing! Oh, it's just like that good old days! Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchi, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call... You know, I'm having a stroke. Please help me. You know, many call me a saint. But I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, a drumstick... Drumstick? Got drumming on the brain. That dumbstruck youth mouth of yours shall be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Witnesses? Shit, there's 2 of them? Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Damn! Got some mustaches on display today. Okay. Witnesses, kindly state your name and occupation for the court. Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Isaiah Noah reporting for... Iesanosa. I feel like there might be a pun there, I can't tell. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the these are words that are being spoken right now, and I understand it like myself, I find employ. Oh, maybe it's like he's like an Englishman, but he speaks broken Japanese. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, he's good. I took my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd district. Japan, why you gotta do this to me? Curio? I was like, maybe the puns aren't in the name. And then this guy's literally called Curio Corrector. Correcuta. As in like curio collector. He collects curios, I think. Oh god. Well, we move on. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. It must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea out of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-noon. And not infrequently, converse with the why do you speak like this? I need water or rum, one of the two. Water for now, maybe rum later. Converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. Oh good, at least I'm not the only one that's fucking lost right now. Can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. And it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. Seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with a rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, both of you witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen taking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. There was a black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, you're starting to feel uncomfortable. If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, and the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic? I think that's acerbic. Of a most acerbic afternoon. Witness testimonies. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. That precise moment, a firearm was discharged. Why was there a baby crying just there? I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. A black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel. No. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Noser, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the victim fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. Why the fuck is there a baby crying? Then again, I don't think he's moved his other hand from behind his back, so for all I know, he's like holding an infant there. So, you know. Yeah. Please put the knife away, we're in a courtroom! No, I'm not surprised at this point. People are allowed weapons later down the line, so who gives a shit? What a time we live in where an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. But why would you do that? After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. How do you know it was an English-made? My point still stands. How do you know that that's English-made? Does it say made in England along the barrel? I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, then there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Hell yeah. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in these testimonies of the witnesses. Dude said he saw me shoot him from behind. I literally have a file that says I have a file and a picture that says otherwise. Which one do you want? Like, here. I'm struggling with keyboard controls. I'm used to playing these on a DS, quite frankly. There's no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony of the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? Oh yeah, I forgot they still had an Emperor back then. I mean, the defense demands a right to cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh. How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Thank God at least one of us has some spine on this side of the desk. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Don't you gulp me, mister. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to do that is with evidence. Right, evidence. Let me shuffle through my papers again and find something. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. You tried. I'll give you that, Ryunosuke. You tried. You slam your desk like this. That's how you slam a desk, boy. Alright then. It's all or nothing. That was a good desk slam. Although now my hands hurt, so you know. I was investigating. Oh, okay, now I can do the usual, like, press and present kind of deal. Cool. I was ingesting yeah, we know. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly. Yep. Who gives a shit? Precise moment firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Okay, now, as I said, do they want the report, or do they want the photograph? You know, I don't know which one they want right now. So let's start with this, because this is like hard damning. He has a bullet hole in the front.
Yes!
You shout objection, you tool, not yes! God damn it, Ryunosuke! What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print into my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean... Yes, there's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. That's how you slam a desk. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Trying to spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what are you talking about? It's apparent from the single glance of the photographic print presented by the defense. There's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Yes or no, sir? I'm trying to find the pun, but it's just not coming to me. Feel free to enlighten me wherever you watch this. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, that just can't be. Why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is an obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Sir, why do you have a child behind you? We're gonna see that child at some point, and it's gonna be important to this case, but I don't know how, though. What the? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it back down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy here with the facts. Would you not agree, Sergeant No, sir? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be shit. And now my stream's dying. That's a good sign. My recording of this, and we can fucking go again! Now, the internet stops dying. Where was I? Oh yeah, guns. I think I missed the last one. Hold on, history. At this juncture, it would appear, until that moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony of the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant no, you know what, Mr. No, sir, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. Mr. No, sir. Oh, that's the joke. Okay. That's not a good one, in all things considered. I prefer the other guy's name. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh, shit, he's firing shots! I just got a Steam achievement, but my face is covering it. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. He said the word. He said the word. The T word was said. We're definitely playing a Phoenix Wright game. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. a university cadet there, who was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
Stop saying yes, you cretin! But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man? You didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I've already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed! The Hoei-era Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Ratsute. In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you? On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered? What the hell is proffered? I don't know. That I proffered my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare treasure. I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, averting my eyes from the briefest of moments, it was no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Oh, fucking hell. I'm dying on my own water now. Indeed I did, but heeded it not, for I was only concerned with my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me! Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. Oh, I see what he's saying. As I'm sure everyone present here is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict in this trial right now. What is your position, Professor Ouchie? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable offendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. We will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Waiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. We seen those straps are a sign of the sergeant to be... being strapped to afford a nanny. I know. Attention! Oh my god, I love it. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. I don't know, sir. Me neither, but let's fucking just go with it, shall we? Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yeah, I don't know, sir. Oh, I don't know, sir. It's great, even if that is just the name of his child, and I still don't fully understand his name. But you know what? If there's no pun in his name to be had, and it's all for the baby's sake, I'm sorry for the child. I mean, look. Shut up, okay? I got caught thinking to be doing. I can't be like thinking about puns right now. Yeah, pointing his gun at the point. For some reason, I keep wanting to read point blanking his gun. I don't know why. Pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That young lad in black. That much I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! Look, I know the priestess would be disappointed in me, but shut up.
Yes!
Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But that was a woman! That was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her! Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We're not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. Oh, now we've got... Okay, this one's an interesting picture because there's definitely bullet holes behind him. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Consul? I thought there were bullet holes, there were flowers on the fucking thing. Indeed! Off the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would appear reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch. I don't understand what's going on here. It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. That's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we're able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we've just heard leave no further room for doubt. Cross-examination, please! Since I'm in the business of putting my hand up and fucking asking. These are very sensitive political times. And sensible, I guess. You know, shogunates and all that. As we all know, the ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takesuchi Ouchi. Maybe there's a pun there in the first name, but I just know the pun in the surname. think that I, Takesuchi Ouchi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. How could this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on behind the scenes. Now's your chance to expose it. To draw out the truth. In your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness. But make it quick, understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Right, as it currently stands, I don't have anything pressing or glaring that's a contradiction right now, so, you know, I guess we press for details. Even if what I saw wasn't it's almost the same thing.
Yes!
No, it's not the same thing at all. Son, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. Opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Or did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Attention! Sound of a firearm right in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? And let us not forget the antique dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Korekuta-san? Pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That sounds wrong now that I say it, but you know what? We'll roll with it.
Yes!
Yes, it may have been true I was holding a gun at the time. I told you already, that wasn't because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. If I just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. At exactly that moment, a gunshot rang in my ears. All of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the carbine from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains. Myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there!
Attention!
As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. Yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Would have been more people dining there at that time, then someone else would have noticed her. Well, unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. Quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you think. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Consul? It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment with a client prior to visiting the restaurant. Hotter clinic? That's a pun waiting to happen. But, you know, I'm gonna wait for the punchline. Yes, there would appear to be an entry for the date in question. It's the wrong voice. 19th November, noon past 1 p.m. Very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this as evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Huh? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I? Yes. Yes, I will take that record and shove it into my report.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report to be submitted to evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? Court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence will be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. Whether or not they are of concern is up for us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? We have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. Court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It is the most disturbing Wow! Wow! Somehow this game takes place in like feudal Japan and it's still relevant. Okay. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Goody! Time to do some reading! We're reading right now is new clues. We do. No, I wanted to read. I can't for some reason. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate that for the accused, Korakuta-san. No, I don't want to present. That's not what I want. I want my... Oh, wait, I have to do this in here. Do we... What? I'm just having... Do they normally seal bottles back up? Also, why is he facing away from the table? That one still hasn't, like, made itself clear in my mind yet. See, I can't, like, point at stuff. Oh, wait, no, I can. I can use my magnifying glass. Cool. So I'm assuming I was sat at, like, either this table or, like, this table. Because I had, like, wandered over to speak to him. And I'm assuming I was up to leave and I found it, like, over here? The gun? Is what I'm thinking so far. I don't know yet. Let's just press for more.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. And I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beef steak on the victim's table. A meal for one. No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have no idea. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But both of you failed to see this professor's dining companion. It's just not possible. I want to know what table they were sat at. Because I feel like that's going to make a good, difference. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's just not a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But I... If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see some proof. Okay, my brain was just like, okay, what can I do? What can I do to pin this on? My first instinct was, does that wine glass have lipstick on it? Don't know why my brain went there of all places, but you know, wasn't a bad shout. So I'm assuming, oh, hold on, where am I? Here we are. Hotter clinic, there was... Can I look at people? Don't think any of this is helpful. Yes, I know Duolingo, I haven't done my practice today. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It's a blatant waste of the court's time. Nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. Gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. Oh, are you going to tell me I can examine it now? So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Ah, thank God, you're actually telling me. These ones you may examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use the arrow keys. Oh, that's why arrow keys are bound to something else. And I can rotate it. And then I can WASD to point at stuff. Nice. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that you may have missed before. Crosshairs start to pulsate. Press space to investigate further. Right. Now I've got like a shit ton of evidence I need to go over. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use blah blah and space. So. It says Hotter Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics. Almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I'd ever gotten in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Not in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this clinic is where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Medical report card required for every visit. What do we got? Like a stamp? Dentist? It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record for a long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you're dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors, then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible-tasting medicine. They give you painful injections. To be fair, he's right. They probably put you on opium back in the day, so that's not a good thing. And they demand lots of money from you from the privileged. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. The bad case of stubbornness, no less. For which the only cure is bitter medicine indeed. I've got healthy curiosity. Let's see what we got. Let's have a look. There's some kind of medical history. Ah, there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It seems so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yeah, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that there's anything like that that can actually stop you from feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic has passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Okay, we've actually got something. He's not meant to eat steak, which means someone else ate this steak. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. I do want to just, I will go to the statement. Dining all by himself. Okay, so it's got to be the dining one. I do just want a quick look. Because I will admit, that's the wrong one. It's this one I want to examine. Because he was... Huh. Okay, well that's interesting. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show this person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosoga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. Let's face it, police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... Yeah, I just wanted to update that because I had a feeling that when we handed it over and he was panicking, that it was probably important. I don't think I have anything to look at here. Yeah, you can't rotate a photograph. And I got nothing else that urgently needs... Okay, so... you. Wrong button.
Yes!
Well, I think... About what are you withering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raise your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You know exactly what it is you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Deep breath. Deep breath! Karakuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And? I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. He tried. He's gonna get one good slam in, hopefully, before the end of the trial. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You're not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words what you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we've finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court have heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all. The simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could have possibly He did the thing! He did the desk slam! The medical report card has nothing to do with this case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it! How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hotta Clinic, which issued the report that the card is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? You had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't... Karakuta-san! What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You've assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Ugh. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthetic. I almost said anesthesia, but you know, same thing. Also, the theme. We're onto something. The theme's playing. Expertly done, partner. Oh, we've roused the jury now! What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Why can't you follow the logic? How dare you! I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Well done, Kazuma. Well done. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in the fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, Consul. Consul? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, answer the question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around! Show them what you're made of. Got it, so, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been the victim himself, me, the two witnesses, and as of yet unknown third party. I mean, I do want to see these, but I don't know if I'm going to be penalized for it. And I'd rather not be penalized by a judge, so I'll leave the exploring up to... Obviously, it can only be someone who was sitting at the professor's table. You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person!
Yes!
There was, because I saw her! When this incident occurred, we knew that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that the witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, I'ma slice this court in fucking two. We'll lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial. Relentlessly. Kazuma? Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Consul. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? Can I just point out as well that I'm noticing a theme? The confidence and like the finger pointing and the fucking this motion. If this isn't like Edgeworth descendant, I don't know who is. Because like these two are best friends. Wright and Edgeworth were best friends. The only difference is like some shit happened to Edgeworth and he took a dark turn at some point. But he's a good boy. Let's be honest. He's the best prosecutor we goddamn have in this world. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting strong Edgeworth vibes from Kazuma. I have issues with them. The two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We've demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that you two deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, Obviously, you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you'll also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit? In murder? Not Ryunosuke. Oh, we got some holdits. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. Ke? What did you say, Kurakuta-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now, hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? Oh, we got like oh, it's not quite the cornered theme, but it's the same one. It's just played on violins now. I recognize this one, and it is great on violins, but it just hits different when it's like the 8-bit ones for the DS. I'll be real.
Attention!
But what is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is that true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order! Order! Consul, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this! I loved like the flaccid desk slam. It's great. And who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. Well, this can't be happening. Ryunosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there were only a handful of possibilities. Could have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Because I've already thought about this. It's the card. Obviously, yeah. Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything. Make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers! I want answers and pictures of Spider-Man! I don't know why that came into my head, but you know what, we're rolling with it. If it's proven that these witnesses are being manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing! What does the defense have to say about this? Hmm? Well, Your Excellency? Bring me pictures of Spider-Man! I don't care, defendant! Bring me pictures of Spider-Man! No time to think. Just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes to my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witness is this smug-looking motherfucker.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Attention!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit the court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san is right here.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agreed, shows a great deal attention to detail, but I'm not sure that this is a picture of Spider-Man that I want. Also, I don't know what this means. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's the interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. Can we... You had it at the front of the card. You didn't need... You know what, never mind. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of the business card reveals that the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? That sounds like it could be a light novel title. Let's be real. The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses are there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Inspector, I worried about something like this might happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan over to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It is my guiding principle. But I let myself get distracted when I made that sketch. It was unusually a careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? Why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be I was working undercover. Running themes with detectives and salaries. I'm sure that's why Gumshoe stopped appearing in games. He just couldn't afford to eat and just died. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liability to divulge. That's going to be a later case, isn't it? However, I can say categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We've just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. At the time of shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. That is indeed true. Clearly would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Yeah, I know. I feel like since I've not done this in forever, I also need to cough my lungs up. I'm now on my second water. Stay hydrated, kids. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out to the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim was sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. Oh, she did it. Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything in the moment. An Englishman had been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, it would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. So what now? Do we cross-examine him again, or? One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yumei University is currently holding a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty. I was umming and ahhing of like, is that facility or faculty? I don't know, and I didn't read fast enough to get there. One of them studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory. It's a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for an overseas study tour. Do you mean? When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands that you name the young lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle? Am I reading that right? I don't know, it sounds French, not English. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Umeå University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of the young lady's presence at the scene. And ordered the witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we've now discovered that this premise is false. Oh, I like that music that just kicked in. It would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But Your Excellency! That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Consul. We're not allowed the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. We've got a judge that's actually competent. Fuck yeah! Ugh. Inspector Hosonaga even. Yes, sir? We will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given by the police bureau! As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? It's only a problem if he dies on the way. Nothing will get in my... Oh my god, this detective's amazing. I hope he comes back. And you know, doesn't die of like some kind of lung cancer that he's clearly suffering from. Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes! Your Excellency! Good, then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Hell yeah, recess! To be continued! Save my progress? Yes, please. Yeah, just put it in number 1 for now. Like the inspector from... Yeah, I feel bad because I never remember that inspector's name, Luke, but he is a great character. If like a little too cockney for my liking. 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court, there's... Inspector... Yeah, that was his name, Inspector Grabber. Gotta carry out everything flawlessly as it goes. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the whole entire time. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat. Your eyes were popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. You won't have a fucking say in the matter, boy. Anyway, looks like you've exposed your phantom lady at least. Miss Giselle Brett. A student from Great Britain, is she? Yeah, that's fair. It is somewhat late, Luke, so I'll let you hop off. I'll speak to you whenever. And remember, VOD's on the YouTube channel. That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I may not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. That sounds like a gimmick that we will use later. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, but I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. And then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after that, I bent down and picked it up. And I was shocked. I didn't have time to think about what the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I had no idea what happened outside the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotaba! Well, it seems I was right. Both of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seemed like you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going abroad to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor of UMI. It was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. And I have no doubt that Jupe will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go back there and deal a decisive blow before these old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already be found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yumai Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. God damn it. Extorting me for food! Supreme Court of Judicature, courtroom number 2. Court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Archie, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry? Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. You think of it as nothing even when the new treaty breaks down our nation and founders? Again, terribly sorry. If it's the friendship between nations really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Oh, damn! You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing! Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in! By aligning ourselves with the great world's power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy had never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. I'm one who could arguably study harder too. Standing here now in Supreme Court, there's only one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Damn, that was profound! Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Consul. The court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system. It exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle... Giselle? Giselle? Yeah, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency. Look, it's not my fault you were bad at your job. That hat is definitely something. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Nothing says British like swans, am I right, fellas? Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at the Carnival of Metro. Yes, we all know about you already. Inspector Honosaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing that you're sure of. Oh, yeah, I think I did, didn't I? That your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Inosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. I'm sorry, I don't speak... I was going to say French, and then I realized she's probably English. In Japanese, please? I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? Oh, thank God, we've got translator on standby. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Ume's University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people! Really? Is that the response we get? I prefer that one back in the day to the one we get now. No one thinks we all fucking sound like Cockneys. Do I sound like a Cockney to you? I'm afraid I don't understand the words you said, but it was beautiful as a hummingbird. Can I take that line and just put it on my door? Or something? I don't know. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yeah, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks for the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. God had been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Voulez-vous la chi... No, I've already said this. They're talking in English. I can't not. Although the swan hat is overdoing it. The only way she could have been more British, I think, is if, like, instead of whatever flowers she has, they were roses around them. I don't know which colour won the War of the Roses, so I can't be that patriotic. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Why does it look like the last one and the first line just says of? She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eye caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order! Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, looks like it's clear now. You're fucked. Clear now who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Well, here goes something. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and then they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a... Nope, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Attention!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, your black-hearted blackguard. Look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course I was there at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I would think that she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden the weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witnesses' words on the matter. That's ridiculous! But I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it! Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up! There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that is what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Is it under your hat? Or is it in what I'm assuming may be the live swan that's currently taken refuge upon your head? The Queen's gonna want that back, you know. Yeah, okay, there's nothing sus about that question. So I heard it for myself only. Beef steak.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? That was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hotter Clinic, right? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering? Is Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard the professor was having some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there showed the table exactly as it was left after horrifying events. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To travel to a distant island on the far-off side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor wasn't able to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. It appeared that the diners toasted with their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke? About that last witness's It's very fucking meaningful. The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, huh? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Huh! Well, sidestepped, Consul. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you said to be added to your court testimony. Gladly, she says. It was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I know there's some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Nah. So my current predicament is, well, the, issue I'm seeing is that there's clearly only one glass in this photo. I guess we do the present and find out?
Yes!
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is... It's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what is that about the defense? What's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett tells us that she and the professor just had cheers over a glass of water. And if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah! You're quite right, Consul. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over miniature? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make to the case?
Objection!
Minute, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. There should have been 2 glasses on the table. You're going to try and tell me that you can clink with only one? You're quite right. I simply took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. Paddington thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! Oh god, she does speak Japanese!
Sorry.
There, as I assured the court before. This is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the young lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small, handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So, when the beautiful lady had very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reason. Trying to confuse this court with logical reasoning. Stop derailing my argument with facts! But in the end, it all comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well... Fuck the hell no. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's deeper significance there, it's the handbag! Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets on my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. A true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. No, that's another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Order! Order! Shut the fuck up in my court! And why has no one brought me pictures of Spider-Man yet? What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Professor Ouchie? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, she now has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Dude, seriously? At least wear a mask? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never! You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. Yeah, save some fabric as well. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can clearly see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oof, that it sounded like a collided with the back wall. That's a not good. Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print to evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Okay. I mean, like, I can't look at this for more info, so... I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, Consul. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. And the photographic print just submitted to the court record, it appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in the matter. I must make my ruling. Indeed! And there is only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator for this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You don't mean this is it? I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak arm meat while the strong eat. I don't like that saying at all. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit? And Casimir. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Casimir. What? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Can I have a look? Quickly. Okay. Old-fashioned rose. Lovely. Nice. Cool. What the hell is this he's got in his arm? A tattoo of a bull. I guess there really is nothing at the... Sorry, I'm just having another... Let's see where this goes, shall we? It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me... Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet. This amateurishness is getting tedious. If His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question. This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. Look at this photograph. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day of the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, Consul. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone this court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see what we can glean. How we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly! Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, and I'm desperate, but this isn't the wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defendants one final opportunity. What? Oh, that's menacing as fuck. But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response, the trial will be over with immediately. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at this photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted. I really want to say it's his tattoo, but I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe it's the fact that the chair's pointing the other way? I'm not entirely sure. I feel like this is important though, so... Like, hold on. Just in case this fucks up. I'm clutching at straws again.
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me. I was wondering on what new piffle you would come up with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly this has nothing to do with this magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea what the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie pointed out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It seemed that Miss Brett had a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. I'm thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? We can just link the burn to the case. If we can do that, then we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Just give up, Consul! You can't possibly do that! Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence? Evidence that irrefutably linked to the burn to the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it. I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed the burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? Let's find some link between the burn and the case. Deep breath, Ryunosuke. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means. Time to present evidence. It's my badge. Okay, there's nothing in here, I believe. Aha! I see it now!
Yes!
What's this, Consul? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe the photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded furthermore. Do hurry up, Rookie! What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us for a little while longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that is your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? It's the bull! It's the bull here!
Yes!
The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate where the steak was served on. The plate? Ah! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark for La Carnival. Ah. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, you can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of this burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite the commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, that's a fucking hot plate, just by FYI. A burn like that would have taken about 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping up plate for a whole 3 seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. Yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Like the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Consul. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique stealer, all of us was, without question, would have heard him. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Huh? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, you don't think... Could it really be true? Never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of that makes sense for all this apparent impossibility. On the day of the question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson... He was already dead! He'd perished! No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Consul, you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already? Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! Order! Order! Order, please! Where's my order? Counsel, explain the absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by that rookie student, but clearly has no grasp for the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It is you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon! As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered the burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. Yes, but before we do, I need to pee. We're back in business! Let's see what we've got from this witness again, shall we? If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it is highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible! I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, but you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But Your Excellency! The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh dear. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter up until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
Yeah, and now look what it is. Fucking Tuesday.
As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Yeah, the thing most people don't know about swans, they fucking vicious.
But it seems the men of this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well... You are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. The victim's death.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought me my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I'd heard, the post-mortem report showed no other plausible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on that anyway.
Motherfucker was poisoned or something. That's gotta be what it is. The most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. You know, right up until, like, we get so many other pretty ladies until they're all convicted of murder as well. More likely than you think now that I think about it, back to previous Phoenix Wright games. Easy does it.
I hope this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with this coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Not at all, not at all. It's merely a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. It seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with our cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed this little bully of a student, as you put it. Doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Consul, this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, Your Excellency. You may proceed with the cross-examination. Fortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that.
Yes!
But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You couldn't not have noticed it.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived in this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What? Murdered!
Oh, what fun! You hadn't realized.
The dear lady is absolutely right! As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me?
Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Yes. Well, I can't.
Anyway...
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Because we're not allowed to say wine. Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which will explain why he ordered the drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of what water when I delivered the steak at the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you.
Ah! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of the others in the court, it means bless you. I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway.
I mean, yeah, but the post-mortem was carried out by a scrub policeman. It's not the button I wanted.
Yes!
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. There was no other sign of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It could only have been from the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. That must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on a plate as soon as it was brought from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. And yet, the fact that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. I think I'm starting to understand what may or may not have happened at this point. So, what I'm believing is correct, and what I think has happened, is that she's poisoned him, took the glass to hide the fact that she's poisoned him, and then, there's been a gunshot wound to him to, deceive the police because they don't do proper forensic reports. So the police looked at that and went, yep, he bled to death, even though there's, now that I think about it, not a lot of blood loss. Anyhow.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, whoever a person's life is taken, there are always telltale signs. Traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all of those causes of death, that's true. Maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, Person Thought. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question? On my honor, I, Takasuchi Aoshi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Probably wouldn't pick up on that anyway.
Yes!
You are correct on that front. Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the land of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. And in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right! The Caravel is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly! Which means that even if the investigation...
Wait.
Do you have something to say, my good sir?
Doesn't doesn't even occur to your naive detective to try and preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand?
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. I need to find a way to break her testimony. The cross-examination will be over. Gotta find a way. There must be some clue to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. Why the person standing next to her? Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yeah, he seems to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I don't even think it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, what Kazum's thinking. So, do I... So yeah, so I press...
Yes!
Okay, we've all read this.
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as their interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? People are actually testifying. They're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, I find they often let their guard down. You're right! Look at him, he's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the correct statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. When you're looking at other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. Catch a person at just the right time, you may uncover some new information to pursue. If you notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people at the stand, take a little look around. First, I should move the marker and focus on the detective. And pursue him with space, see what's in his mind.
Wait.
I'm... okay. Oh, I have to press D to look up. There we go. So I can just...
Excuse me!
I like... What the fuck is the meaning of this? I love it's like, excuse me. That's a great fucking, like, speech bubble. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his own thoughts. Deeply. Looks like you were thinking about something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you would just say. The there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? The delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over. Immediately! Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah, not to mention the fact that he's immediately involved with the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? You have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett. Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. Adjust glasses. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I am a kleptomaniac! I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table on the day of question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days from now. It was carbonated water, and I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I can guarantee it. Alright, Fulbright, calm down. Can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. Cope will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Time to examine some bitches! And by bitches, I mean bottles. Yeah, I hear you, Judge, but give me a moment. Let's see what we got in here. What we got? You. The label is written in a foreign language I don't recognize. That means it's French. You know what it says, Kazuma? I was doing a meme. I didn't think it was French. I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. And go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay, have we got anything else? Some sussy liquid? Can't find anything out of place. Can I, like... Is this how this works? What liquid is in here? Can I look... Ah, I can look at it this way. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much I'm absolutely parched. Let's have a little sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke! You can't do that! For one thing, that's evidence. You can't just go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? Never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. In more ways than one. I wonder... Could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I may have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. So now can I, like, look inside you? No? Okay, well, never mind then. Is this the same as before? Yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, I'm starting to think we've poisoned this water. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, Consul, you may resume the cross-examination. The inspector will kindly control his fervor. So if I press it, does anything happen?
Yes!
'Cause I feel like I need to present the bottle at this point.
Excuse me.
No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just space to, go on. Let the point die, Renosuke. Give me some time. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that there, but... So, is this what you want?
Yes.
Okay, this is what you want. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order! Order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Giselle Brett! It was you! Is this the corner theme that I know and love?
Objection!
This is outrageous! Just such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we had just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
If I may,
I will silence you forever for this
it is you who should be silent.
Of course. My dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady, but what are you referring to?
I described your police force as inferior. And no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it! Actually, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. You could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself. No. No! I still think my reasoning from earlier is right, in that the glass that's left on the table is hers, and she took the other bottle. The other glass.
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've all successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, my dear lady. The pleasure was all ours.
Not you, you peasant.
I'm so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Consul. I think the cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot from the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. God wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this trial has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no. I'm just glad the matter has resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the consul for the defense. You have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Please wait.
I really wish the game would tell me her name, because I feel like she's going to be the most helpful person here. Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive my intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in furoshiki cloth. To be continued. God, I really want to finish this case off, but I need to sleep because it's like midnight. It's a good thing this is a good place to save, isn't it? Save. So, yep, as pointed out, this is gonna be where I call the stream, unfortunately. I really wish I could finish the case tonight, but as I said, I've got, like, it's midnight and I need to go to work tomorrow, so it's just a sad fact of life, isn't it? Anyway, if you're tuning in on Twitch, thank you for watching the live stream as we are here. If you're not watching it on Twitch, well, I guess if you're not watching on Twitch, you're watching this on the VOD channel, which is what I was meaning to plug next. Yeah, linking down below for my VOD channel where you can't catch the streams. That's where they go. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to my Twitch channel where I stream these live in pretty much every description I post. So, I haven't posted anything there in a while, but hey-oh, it's good to be back doing this. And I think this is going to be the norm, I hate to say, because it's just easier, if I'm quite honest. Anyway, yeah. Thank y'all for watching, wherever you are watching. And I will see y'all in the next one. Laters.